Hey guys, let's talk a little bit more about the characters in version 3.4, Paper Heron and Chang Higuang, because there is a lot to unpack when it comes to their team building. What characters are they played with? Why are they played with these specific characters together? Is there maybe a new team emerging when it comes to these two characters? Etc, etc. There's a lot to unpack, so let's jump in, and we're gonna start off by talking about the character Paper Heron first, because concerning things around her, it's a little bit easier and simpler to uncover, and more knowledge is already confirmed. So let's dive into it. Paper Heron is from the archetype Impromptu, and this gang is becoming rather huge. In version 3.3 we have a Euphoria update for An. We get a Euphoria update for Tooth Fairy in version 3.4, and the current lineup of Impromptu consists of Baccarola, Regulus, Aleph and Kipparina. Now there is the substitute that is Voyager, of course. You can play Voyager instead of Regulus. Everyone should know this by now. Now things become a little bit interesting. When we talk about Paper Heron, we can take this multiple different ways. Let's first of all include An and Tooth Fairy in this conversation. So Paper Heron is gonna be a new main DPS character for the Impromptu lineup, and she is gonna be better than Baccarola. So you can already make this replacement right here if you want. I want to put a little bit of emphasis onto that. When I say Paper Heron is gonna be the new main DPS for the Impromptu archetype and she is gonna be better than Baccarola, that is true, although that doesn't mean that you have to pull for Paper Heron no matter what. Look, if you already right now play this Impromptu team right here on your screen with Baccarola, Regulus, Aleph and Kipparina, this team is already true power. It is in the top 3 teams in the meta game, and it will not get replaced there anytime soon. So you don't necessarily need Paper Heron for this Impromptu lineup, right? But here comes something interesting, because look, if you want to go that route of pulling for Paper Heron and then replacing Baccarola with her, then you don't necessarily really have to make adjustments for this team, but you definitely should make adjustments, because if you want to play Paper Heron to her maximum amount of efficiency, then not only Baccarola says goodbye, but also Regulus and Voyager say their goodbye as well, because the partner in crime for Paper Heron in version 3.4 will be An. Why exactly is that the case? That is because they excel at the exact same thing. If you play Paper Heron, the reason why you would play her is, of course, one reason is her array. That is already absolutely fantastic. But another core reason is that Paper Heron has the unique, or I should say specific mechanic of accumulating more inspiration than other Impromptu characters like Baccarola, Regulus, Voyager, Kipparina, Aleph would accumulate. And that is of course the core mechanic that the Impromptu team evolves around. That is what they are all about. They accumulate inspiration, and they use this accumulated inspiration to deal a shit ton of damage at the end of the turn. And so with Paper Heron having the ability to accumulate more inspiration than other characters, automatically makes it a very, very, very good character. And now, guess what? An has the exact same unique, or special ability, let me say it like that, than Paper Heron does. Both of these two characters excel at accumulating more inspiration than the rest of the gang would, you know what I mean? And if you play these two together now with their same special ability, you accumulate so much inspiration. It is actually ridiculously absurd, you know what I mean? And that is why this is gonna be the new best in slot combination for the impromptu lineup. This is gonna be better than anything else. But again, like, you don't have to commit to these two. You can stay with the impromptu lineup that you play right now and you will be totally fine. Then of course, thanks to you accumulating such an absurd amount of inspiration with Paper Heron and Anan Lee, Aleph is gonna profit from this a whole bunch, and that's why he will stay in his team as the best in slot for the best impromptu team, as you know how this goes by now, right? If you rank up your incantations and you accumulate a whole bunch of inspiration, more than ever before, Aleph is gonna save all of this up and profit from this thanks to his ultimate. So yeah, he's still the unbeatable Demon King in this team, so to speak. Now is where things become a little bit interesting. That is because of two fairies Euphoria update. We don't know enough about all of the Euphoria updates for version 3.4 yet to judge them accordingly. Like, you know, let's be realistic. Two Fairy, brand new Euphoria update. I know a lot of people were desperately waiting for this. I'm included in this, so there we go. Then she gets an absolutely ridiculously gorgeous garment on top of her new Euphoria update that is long overdue as well. She's gonna change her archetype to impromptu after all these years, quote unquote. Like, it is very, very likely that she will actually become the new sustain and the new best in slot character for this impromptu lineup, and Kiparina is probably finally gonna be outclassed. Like, heal is better than shielding, right? No matter how much you shield, you will never keep up with an actual healer. Healing is better than shields, that's the fact, right? So it is very, very likely to assume that this is gonna happen, but we don't know about that. Kiparina might as well stay as the best in slot sustain for this new impromptu lineup, and no one should be surprised if that is actually happening, because again, like, we don't know if they will focus on the impromptu synergy per se and putting a lot of emphasis on that with this new Euphoria update for Two Fairy, and maybe they will leave the healing amount a little bit behind, maybe a little bit too much behind. Then the shields from Kiparina would of course reign supreme, and she would keep her best in slot. But yeah, looking at this new garment, I cannot believe it, right? My guess would be Two Fairy will join this team, but we don't know. Okay, now what about the rest of the gang? What about Barcelona, Regulus, Voyager? Do we throw them in the trash and never see them again? No, actually, absolutely not. Because now you can build, as you probably already realized here when you look at your screen, we can build two impromptu lineups easily. If you are like, hey, I love impromptu, this is my favorite team with my favorite characters in there, I have so much fun, more fun with impromptu than with any other team, why like not create two impromptu lineups easily? And they are both hella cracked. You see, with Barcelona, Regulus, and then Voyager and Kiparina, that is of course gonna be a very, very, very strong team. And then you have Paper Heron with Anan Lee, Aleph, and Two Fairy. Yeah, of course, like the supports here, the sustains, they are interchangeable, right? But yeah, this is the only slot that is for the time being interchangeable, because we don't know enough about Two Fairies Euphoria update. And here we go, boom, we have two very good teams that are both impromptu, and no slot here is overlapping. It's not this nonsense of oh, we have to use Aleph twice, blah blah blah. No, right? We can play both teams with no interference right then and there. Of course, we would love to like copy paste Aleph, right? That would be of course better than Voyager for this team, but it's not gonna be possible, and Voyager is gonna be good enough in this impromptu team built around Barcelona still. And there you go, that's the story behind Paper Heron. She is 100% guaranteed gonna be the best in slot for the impromptu lineup. This one right here, maybe with Caparina, that is gonna be the best in slot, new impromptu lineup, no questions asked. And yeah, that's it about Paper Heron. Now let's move on to Chang Higuang. This scenario here is way more straightforward and way easier to understand and much simpler, but a lot of information about this is still left in the dark. So let me explain. In version 3.4, the best follow-up attack team in the game consists of Calabauna, Anionala with Flutterpage and Fatutu. Now, Chang Higuang is not like Paper Heron. For example, Paper Heron, you could just replace Baccarola with her and then like play the impromptu lineup however the fuck you want and it would work out. That is not gonna function when it comes to Chang Higuang and his follow-up attack team. He will not just replace Calabauna and then be played in his team with Anionala. Like that is not how things work out here at all. You like what it all comes down to, what you need to do is you play Chang Higuang together with Liang Yue. If you do not play these two characters together, Chang Higuang is not gonna make the cut. That he will not be good enough to be played in a follow-up attack setup without Liang, right? Keep that in mind. Still, of course, a solid character, but yeah, you should not play this character without Liang. That's the whole point, and it's true because take a look at his ultimate one more time. I just did a showcase about their kits in my previous video, so check that one out and you will understand why Chang Higuang is extremely hardcore reliant on Liang Yue. And that is where the problem lies. Because look, Calabauna and Anionala, yeah sure, they are not this turbo broken, busting, dominating the metagame kind of duo, right? But it doesn't matter, they don't have to be. They are still very strong and nothing to like sneeze at, you know what I mean? Replacing them is possible, but not an easy task at all. So Chang Higuang has the potential to do this, but again, like he depends so hard on Liang Yue, and we do not have enough information about Liang Yue's Euphoria update yet. The entire viability and the whole power level of Chang Higuang depends on how good this Euphoria update for Liang Yue will be. The better Liang Yue is, the better Chang Higuang will be. The worse Liang is, the worse Cheng is gonna be, right? Self-explanatory. If this Liang Yue Euphoria update would be good enough and she would deal enough damage with it, she needs a huge damage boost to like outclass an Anionala, right? Needless to explain here, because she deals absolutely zero damage right now and she needs a heavy boost. This Euphoria update has to be really good for her to become viable. If this is gonna happen or not, we will have to wait and see. She's also limited. She, of course, like you might say, hey, this is a limited character that is completely irrelevant in the metagame. this would be a super good Euphoria update. It would be reasonable, but the same exact scenario also applies to Anionala as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, this argument is kind of neutralized here because it applies to both. Anionala is also a character that was irrelevant in the metagame. She's also limited and also very, very beloved. Probably even more beloved than Liang is. I don't know about that. I love Liang more than Anionala, but I mean, who knows, right? So that's about that. It all comes down to how good or bad this Liang Euphoria will be. If it's good enough, then this right here with Cheng, Liang, Flutterpage and Fatutu is gonna be the best follow-up attack team in the game. If Liang's Euphoria turns out to be not good enough, then Kalabauna and Anionala will stay together with Flutterpage and Fatutu. And that's really how simple it is. It all comes down to Liang. And we don't have the information, so we gotta wait and see. In 8 days from me uploading this video, we will exactly know what is going on and I will deliver an update to you. But that's it for today's video, guys. I hope this was fun and informative. If you like Reverse 1999 content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, don't forget to join the Discord server. By the way, there's a database on our Discord server that you gain access to. If you join the Discord server with all the information beautifully displayed for all versions, version 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, up-to-date tier lists and everything that you can check out there. All the questions that you might have about this game will be answered either by like pinging me on the Discord server and asking me exactly what you want, or by taking a look at our database. So join the Discord server, link in the description down below. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, and we love this game.